The much hyped and anticipated Christmas vehicle starring Eddie Murphy and Tracy Ellis Ross is a typical Christmas movie. It is presented as a Christmas comedy about a family man who wants to have the perfect Christmas with his family. Whether or not they all have the same desire is up for debate. Nonetheless, events transpire that puts our protagonist into a Christmas jam, and he must find his way out of it or his goose is cooked. The proof is in the pudding. But this is a mostly okay movie that would have been more fantastic if it had been the 1980s. In our memories, films from that 80s decade during our formative years rocked. I mean, they absolutely rocked. Then one night, you see that one of those films from that era is on TV, and you decide that you'll watch it. But slowly and surely, you realize the sloppy dialogue, the off-tempo acting, and the Swiss cheese narrative logic. And before you know it, the words, "Why did I like this movie?" flies out of your mouth like Superman flying through a building. While lots of movies from that era hold up to 2023 eyes, many of them don't. Candy Cane Lane reminds me of the films that don't. And I include all of the John Candy films. Although I will say that a plus to this film is that it was story driven and not plot driven. In the beginning, we are treated to character development, and we see and understand the motivations of our protagonist, and we see and recognize his flaws. The pacing and the storytelling in the first two acts were good and kept my attention. The comedy ingredients were decent, but nothing to split our sides under the weight of laughter. It was just okay. By the third act, it was more rushed, and its climax was as managed as a bull running through the streets of Pamplona. Just as this film was, we give Candy Cane Lane 2 stars out of 5 stars.